So it was not my idea. It was my co-founder's idea. He was an asset manager at a family office and they invested a lot in real estate. And in order to maximize the quality of their investment, they would appeal the property taxes every single year. And he thought it was crazy that this billionaire in this billionaire's family office was contesting their appraisals and nobody else really is, right? His dad doesn't. The average American doesn't even know this is something you can do, never mind actually takes advantage of it. And so he really wanted to build a solution that could make it accessible to everybody, where no matter what kind of home you live in, no matter what kind of property you live in, you have a fair shake at making sure that you're not paying any more than your fair share in property taxes.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. Today, I'm joined by someone I've been looking forward to chatting with, Joseph Noor, who's been making serious moves in the technology space, creating a new product to help people save money on the cost of owning real estate. So really excited to have you here today, Joseph. I think the listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching creating this new technology and just helping people save money. So let's dive in.
Sounds good. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So just first off, for those who are not familiar with you and your world, can you give a short version of what your main focus is?
Yeah, sure. So we started the company because we saw that there was opportunities to help real estate owners save money on their assets. In particular, we focused on expenses, and the first expense that we hyper-focused on was property taxes. And so property taxes, everybody pays them every single year. They're based on the value of your real estate, and that value is dictated by a county assessor who comes up with a number based on the information and tools they have. Oftentimes they get that number wrong, and you can actually, through a formal process by which you can test that, you can lower that assessment and thereby lower your property taxes. And we do that as a service. So we have an entire team, and if you sign up with us, we will essentially evaluate your property, file all the relevant paperwork, attend any hearings, and negotiate a lower assessment for your real estate, and thereby save customers money on their property taxes.
Amazing. I love that. And do you provide this service nationwide, or is it specific to a market?
Yeah, so we decided to go pretty deep in particular markets and expand from there. So we currently only service 7 states, and we're experimenting and exploring and piloting new states every month. But those are the 7 that we've gone pretty deep on. And so we're currently not nationwide, but what I would love to do in the near future is offer a service that anybody can use, like a free CMA or something like that, even if I don't have necessarily a team of experts in that particular market that are able to service the appeal itself.
Awesome. So what kind of got you started with creating this software or service?
Yeah. So it was not my idea. It was my co-founder's idea. He was an asset manager at a family office, and they invested a lot in real estate. And in order to maximize the quality of their investment, they would appeal the property taxes every single year. And he thought it was crazy that this billionaire in this billionaire's family office was contesting their appraisals, and nobody else really is, right? His dad doesn't. The average American doesn't even know this is something you can do, never mind actually takes advantage of it. And so he really wanted to build a solution that could make it accessible to everybody, where no matter what kind of home you live in, no matter what kind of property you live in, you have a fair shake at making sure that you're not paying any more than your fair share in property taxes.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And that's why he thought that with technology, we could kind of build a system and a machine that can scale and help everyone. And so when I met him at school, he presented this idea. I got very excited about it. My family's involved in real estate pretty heavily. My father's a real estate investor. My grandfather's a real estate developer, or was a real estate developer. And actually, my great-grandfather was a property tax collector in Lebanon. I'm the son of immigrants. And so I felt this personal connection to the business and to the idea. And so I kind of latched onto it and started building with my co-founder. And that's how we got started.
Amazing. I love that story. Oh, yeah. What has been like the key to keeping this business running smoothly with all of these moving parts and, yeah, so many things to consider?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. The first thing is you got to have the best people. If you don't have great people, you're never going to succeed, especially when, somebody, if you hire somebody, you put them in the role, like, are they going to take the same amount of care and attention that you would put in that role? So having the absolute best team is essential to, having a successful business. I think the other thing too is just this constant desire to improve. If you get complacent or stagnate, or you are satisfied with the current state of affairs, then you're not going to improve and you're not going to make it better. So I have this probably unhealthy dissatisfaction always, and I always want to make things better. And I think that's part of the reason why we continue to improve in everything that we do.
Amazing. Yeah, that's so important. So what are some of like the features of these technologies that you offer?
Yeah, I mean, we've built what I would say is at our core, we are a service where, you sign up and there's some expert that's going to try to negotiate a reduction on your behalf. And so, what are the features? We tried to make it as simple as possible to sign up. So to give you some examples, it's like a purely online sign up. You basically just put in your information, hit submit, and we do everything from there. Another thing is we don't charge anything upfront. So you don't put your credit card in or anything like that. You literally just let us know that you want us to go to work for you, and our team kicks it off. And then on the back end, I spend a lot of time making sure that I bring all the tools and resources available to our people to make sure that they're seeing everything, that they get like a superhuman view of the status of that appeal, basically get a view of the area, get a few, all the different, sales and comparable data that we can use to actually present the case and making sure that we're building the best possible case. And then on the back end, integrating with county systems, making sure that we're uploading things to the right place, submitting the right paperwork at the right time with the right information at that moment to be as compelling as possible and get the best reduction that we can for our clients. I think every single step of the way, trying to do what we can to maximize the quality of the outcome.
Yeah, awesome. Are there like any sort of criteria for someone that does qualify or doesn't qualify? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing because typically the way that property tax appraisal works is you've got these county appraisal models that most of whatever county you own your real estate in, there's some appraisal office that dictates the values, and they use some sort of software to spit out the values because they're not going home to home looking at the condition of the home, looking at the backyard and so on and so forth to come up with their value every single year. They use these off-the-shelf models typically, which do something like multiple regression where they assign, I could go pretty deep on what they're doing, but typically what they're doing is imagine like a scatter plot and they're going to assign a best fit line to the scatter plot, something like that. And so some people are lucky and they're on the wrong side of the best fit line and they get brought down. And so they're actually technically underassessed relative to maybe what their true market value is. And a lot of people know that, they get their appraisal in the mail, they look at it, they look at the number, they think about how much their house is worth, and they're like, oh, this is a little bit lower. I'm good to go.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And on the flip side, you'll have other people who are on the wrong side of that curve and they get approximated up and they get overassessed. And what we found is that in both cases, we can have a successful outcome. Now, obviously, it's less likely that I'm going to have a good outcome if you're underassessed, but oftentimes what we see in the real estate data are arguments that we can use to bring the number down even further, just based on what the actual real estate data says. Like even if you think this is an underassessment, sometimes we can even bring it down further. And then of course, when the evidence is undeniable and incredibly compelling, typically we have a really good chance at saving people money.
Yeah. And what does that process look like on your end for helping people bring that rate down?
Yeah. Well, you go on our website, type in your address, verify some basic details about the property. You can upload any information that you think would help strengthen our case. Things like, obviously the no-brainers are, cracked foundation or a roof that desperately needs repairs and you have a repair quote or something like that. Those are always really, really helpful in negotiating a larger reduction. And besides that, once you sign up, we pretty much do everything on our end. You'll hear from us occasionally as the process progresses, as we begin building your case, as we file your case with the county appraisal district, as we follow up with them and schedule your hearing, whether we have to submit evidence when we file initially, whether we have to submit supplemental evidence later on in the process, and we go through that process. We basically notify you through email, and you can always log into our website and check the status of things. And at some point, you'll hear the result of it, whether it was successful or whether it wasn't successful. You'll hear from us. That's pretty much the process. So after that initial sign up, there's really nothing else to do besides sit there and wait for good news.
Amazing. I love that. And is there anything else that you guys support people with, or it's just specifically that property assessment?
Yeah. So I would say the core of our business is definitely focused on saving people money on property taxes, but we have little teams throughout the company that are exploring and building out support for other ways that we can help people save. So just as an example, one thing that we're piloting is helping people with their home insurance renewal. So every year you have to pay a new premium for your home insurance. And for me, every single year that number keeps going up. And it's a pain to shop every year. I'm going to put my name and number and all my details in all these different insurance sites. And then I'm going to get harassed with phone calls and emails and so on and so forth. And usually I'm not even getting a decent quote when I do it. It's going to be more than my renewal. So every once in a while I have a successful outcome, but it's kind of a pain. And so, we're piloting an internal program. We have a team with licensed insurance agents and brokers where essentially we'll shop for you and you don't have to get harassed or annoyed by anybody. You just put in your details, we go do the shopping for you, and we present you the best quotes that we found. And then you can compare that to your renewal and decide whether it makes sense to switch. So things like that, that's something that we see clear opportunity along with property taxes. You have to pay every year. You have to pay your insurance every year. And so there's an opportunity to save there. While rates have not come down at all yet, I'm excited for the idea that for anybody that's bought in the last few years, they should absolutely be refinancing their mortgage as rates begin to drop. And so, getting ahead of that and making sure that we have the tools in place that we can help provide people with smart recommendations when we believe that it's an opportune moment to refinance your mortgage, I think is another clear play that we're focused on internally as well. And then we have a long tail of little things that we think we can help with. Things like some people have PMI, private mortgage insurance, and because they didn't put more than 20% down. And there are moments when you can actually get that removed before it organically falls off of your mortgage bill. And so we see a lot of opportunity there where we're helping people. And we're just going deeper and deeper, looking at essentially all those different expenses and seeing how we can help people.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Amazing. I love that. So what are you guys most focused on solving or scaling next?
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. I mean, one of your first questions is, are we nationwide? And
Yeah.
the answer is no. And the reason that we're not nationwide is I want to be really, really good in the markets that we currently service, as opposed to just like, sure, we're nationwide, and
Right.
then we're not very good. So I would say that one of the key focuses that we have internally is, how do we continue to refine our expertise in our existing markets and be able to expand while maintaining the quality of service? So that's definitely one of the main focuses moving forward.
Yeah. So what is the ultimate kind of goal for where this service is headed?
Yeah, I think the way that I think about it, your home finances for the average American, myself included, is the most expensive thing that comes out of your budget, or that you budget for every single month. And it's I believe that the statistic was that it's over 50% of the average American's expenses are in some way, shape, or form tied to their home. So it's this huge thing that we just all pay, and we silently pay, and we just think that's the way it has to be, because what's the alternative, right? You have to pay your rent, or you have to pay your mortgage, and all those other auxiliary expenses. And, how often do we actually analyze those expenses and look for opportunities to save? And I would say for most of us, myself included, not that often. And so the vision here is, I dream of a future where you have a digital assistant, a super intelligent digital assistant that is particularly focused on your home finances and making sure that it is optimizing every single line item, making sure that you're taking advantage of all exemptions that you qualify for, making sure that you're doing everything you can to minimize any of those individual expenses, and essentially optimize the most expensive thing that you deal with every month. And so that's ultimately the vision that I see, is creating that super intelligent digital assistant that is optimizing your home expenses.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. That's something that would be very useful and needed in the world.
Agreed.
Amazing. What exactly are you guys how does this service work? Do people just go online and find you, or how are you growing this business and building your network?
Yeah, so I think, yeah, it's typical marketing motions that we engage in. Anybody can go on our website and sign up. One thing that we offer is, if you go on our website and you type in an address, we'll immediately provide a recommended or approximate savings that we think we can save you on whatever services you're interested in. And that's done. And there are certain people and certain properties that will type in a number and they're going to see $0, because we genuinely do not think that we're going to save you any money on your property taxes, for example. And so we basically do an upfront analysis everywhere to see, essentially build our algorithms and do the analysis to see where we think the biggest opportunities are. And when we see that there are people who can save quite a bit, then we go through whatever marketing motions we can to help them become aware of the opportunity that they have to reduce their, whether it's property taxes or anything else. And so I would say that's definitely one of our core focuses. But in general, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a online product that you can discover, find out about in some way, and you can sign up, and we'll go to bat.
Amazing. Yeah. How has this process been of creating it on the back end? What did that look like for you guys?
Oh, it's changed so much over the years. And when we first got started, I was managing everything out of an Excel sheet. Every time somebody signed up, I added them to the Excel sheet, and I went and I filed the paperwork myself, and I scheduled everything myself, and I added a little event to the calendar when the hearing was, and so on and so forth. And over time, we've built a software platform that helps us essentially manage the entire logistical process from start to finish. Essentially, the moment somebody signs up, they get inputted into our system, and they show up in our system, and we begin the process of validating their details, pulling their property, validating their sign-up details, pulling their property details, evaluating those details, preparing all the evidence and the packets and the paperwork and so on. And so a lot of it has been software automation of documents and things like that. A lot of it has been integrations with, county systems. And a lot of it has been really specialized knowledge that we've developed about how to tune your algorithm to be most effective. As an example, I'm in Austin, Texas. And what we see is, for example, in Dallas, Texas, they love to focus on price per square foot. Whereas in Austin, Texas, that's not so much of a consideration. And there's other features that they focus on more than the actual price per square foot. And so that's kind of something that we've seen across the board, is as the deeper that we go, the more, it's not necessarily tricks, but it's more like the way, what are the most effective arguments that our team can make? And then how do we make sure that as an individual is working up a case and they're looking at the details of a property, that it's like, hey, make sure that you focus on these details because these details we see are the most effective. And so we make sure that they're kind of presented front and center. And so I'd say that those are the kinds of things that I just continue to iterate and continue to refine and improve on.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as like the customer journey, is there anything that the customers need to do besides submit the information, or it's pretty hands off after that?
It's totally hands off after that. I mean, occasionally we'll need an intervention from the customer. Like if you do so one of the things you have to do when you sign up, you put in your property, confirm your details, and you actually sign a digital signature for the appointment of agent. And what you're doing is actually appointing OWNWELL, our company, as your tax agent, and that gives us the authority to go communicate to the assessor on your behalf. If you don't do that, then we don't have any authority to
Right.
speak. And so sometimes people will give a really kind of not the best scribble, like when I sign things, I'm getting a coffee and I have to sign. It's just a scribble, which I totally get it. But sometimes that scribble just isn't quite going to cut it. And so, sometimes we'll send you a notice that says, hey, we need a new scribble. Can you make it a slightly nicer scribble? Things like that. But besides that, for the vast majority of people, you sign up, hands off, you do nothing, and you just wait to hear the good news.
Amazing. I love that. Sounds like a really streamlined process.
We've tried to make it that way.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, for anyone that wants to reach out, learn more, connect with you guys, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can visit us online at ownwell.com. That's OWNWELL.com. You can visit us. We have a lot of blog details. You can hear about some case studies and so on and so forth. And you can type in your address or anybody's address and get an approximate savings estimate of what we think, basically the potential that we think we can save for you.
Well, listen, I really appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. We need more people that are doing these innovative things. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. Pleasure chatting.
Amazing. And for those of you that are tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure that you've subscribed. We have more conversations coming with operators just like Joseph who are building real businesses. And we'll see you all on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.